Tonight we're gonna have sesame chicken salad for dinner. I'm working my way through this cookbook, one recipe at a time. If that's something that interests you, then please be sure to like and follow. First thing I'm gonna start with is 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Now the recipe calls for them to be cooked and then cut into cubes. Short for time, so I'm gonna try to cut that down by slicing them in half lengthwise, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cube them before I even start cooking them. Then that way, hopefully they'll just cook a lot faster. Skillet's still warming, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the dressing. I'm gonna need 2/3 a cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of low sodium soy sauce, 1/4 cup of rice vinegar, a teaspoon of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flake, and then 2 cloves of garlic and 2 tablespoons of ginger, all minced. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that together and just use the slap chop to mince it quickly. And of course my 2 cloves is 5 cloves. That skillet is warm enough. I'm gonna go ahead and put some olive oil in the skillet. I'm gonna let that warm up and then I'll put the chicken in. I'm just kind of eyeballing what I think 2 tablespoons of ginger might be. I had a pretty long piece of ginger, so I just cut that in half. And then I'm just gonna peel everything off of it before I stick it with the garlic for the slap chop. One thing I have used in place of fresh ginger is the ginger paste. And I think it actually works pretty well. It's quick, it's easy. It's ultimately kind of cheap because it will last in your fridge forever. But again, you kind of have to eyeball it because it's not going to measure the same. Skillet's ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my chicken to that, and then I'm gonna put some salt and pepper on top. I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the dressing. I tried to use the hand blender in the jar. That was a giant mistake. So I got everything transferred to a bowl here, so I can just use the hand blender in the bowl. I'm gonna set the dressing aside and get started on the salad. So I'm gonna start out with draining a jar of mandarin oranges that are in just their own juice, no syrup or anything. I'm gonna let those drain while I slice half of a red onion, and I want to slice it really thin. I want 8 cups of mixed greens. I'm using just a spring mix. The recipe does call for you to go ahead and put the dressing over this, but I'm gonna just want to leave it in the jar because odds are we're gonna have leftovers, and those leftovers will keep a lot better if they're not coated in dressing. Eat a cup of red or cherry tomatoes halved. I have the red grape tomatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and just mix up the greens, the onion, and the tomato right now. I'm gonna move my chicken to a bowl here, and I wanna cover that in about 1/3 of that dressing I made. And I wanna add a tablespoon of black sesame seeds and a tablespoon of white sesame seeds. And I just wanna mix that all up, get that chicken all coated. I'm gonna go ahead and add my chicken, and I'm gonna add some of the mandarin oranges on top of that. And there you have it, sesame chicken salad with dressing on the side. It's beautiful.